It's time for Mike Farrell's picks of the week. Mike, last week you went 9-7. I went 7-5 because I forgot to pick a couple games. So we'll do better this week. Let's jump right in. Ohio State, 12-point favorite headed to Penn State. Who do you like?
This is a tough one, but I'm going to take Penn State to cover the 12. They're not going to win the football game, but these games have been close recently. They're coming off that loss against Indiana. Noah Cain being out hurts, but I just have a feeling that this type of rivalry game is going to be closer than 12. Penn State could lose by 10, but I like them getting 12.
I'm taking Ohio State. I think they're going to blow them out. It might be close early, but I'm taking the Buckeyes. Georgia, this is an interesting game. A 17-point favorite at Kentucky. Kentucky, of course, looked terrible last week. They looked great the week before. Terry Wilson's probably out. Joey Gatewood playing. Who do you like?
Georgia's going to cover this 17. And the main reason for that is, listen, I like Joey Gatewood, but you and I both know how inconsistent he is as a passer. And if he doesn't get in a rhythm, there's a big problem. And that defense, he's going to be able to run the ball here and there, but that defense is going to swarm him. This is a difficult start for him. I got Georgia.
Yeah, I think it's a bad matchup for Kentucky. Boston, I'll take Georgia as well. Boston College at Clemson. The game that everyone's talking about. Trevor Lawrence is out with COVID. The Tigers are still a 24-point favorite as of Friday. So what do you think?
Boston College. Take them to cover this, and there's two reasons for it. I know Clemson's coming off a tough performance against Syracuse, but DJ is starting his first game. There's going to be some mistakes made. They're going to rely on the running game quite a bit, I think, including DJ running the ball. BC is a solid football team, and Clemson's going to be looking a little bit ahead to Notre Dame. So BC will lose, but I think by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, this will be I'm going to go with you too, but I reserve the right to change my mind when I do my actual bets on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet the opposite of a lot of what I do because I'm always wrong.
Mississippi State at Alabama. Mississippi State had an exodus of players this week. Several guys leaving, getting kicked off the team. They're a 31-point underdog at Alabama.
Alabama's going to cover 31. I don't trust any Mike Leach defense. The team's in disarray right now, so take Alabama laying the 31.
Yeah, I'll take Alabama too. Their defense actually hasn't been bad. It's their offense. That's horrible.
It was good the first week, and then it fell apart. But now, just watch. Just watch how this implodes on Mike Leach.
Missouri, a 12.5-point underdog going to Florida. Florida hasn't played in forever. What do you think?
This was almost my lock of the week, which was horrendous last week. But Missouri, take the 12.5. The Gators are going to be looking ahead to the Georgia game. They're coming off, obviously not playing. They got COVID issues. Missouri is well coached. They're prepared. They're not going to win. But with that defense of Florida, I could see them giving up 20 points, and I could see Missouri holding them to maybe 30. So I'm looking at a 30-20 win here for Florida. Take Missouri.
I'm taking the Gators there. Notre Dame, a 20-point favorite, coming here to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech.
Take Notre Dame. Georgia Tech is a really bad football team. We thought they were good when they beat Florida State, but now we realize how bad Florida State is. And, Jeff Sims is not the answer at quarterback. He's a freshman, I know, but Notre Dame's going to destroy him.
I'm actually going to take Georgia Tech just because of the way Notre Dame plays. I think they'll give up some points to Georgia Tech, and they'll win.
Could be looking ahead.
Right. They'll win comfortably, but I like Georgia Tech to kind of keep it close. Arkansas, a 12.5-point underdog traveling to Texas A&M.
Woo pig. They're going to cover. I don't know if they'll win. They might win. The defense is so underrated. People are sleeping on it. Texas A&M, we all know, is going to lose a game that they're supposed to win. This could be it, but I really do think Texas A&M is going to win. But at 12.5, you got to take Arkansas. Yeah,
I like the Hogs as well. Oklahoma, 14.5-point favorite going to Texas Tech.
Yeah, take Oklahoma. I think they're going to rack up 50, maybe more. Texas Tech will put up some points against that Oklahoma defense, but not enough to cover the 14.5.
I'm going to take Texas Tech. They should have beaten Texas. I think Oklahoma gives up too many points, and I think they'll be able to score, no matter who's playing quarterback for them. North Carolina, your second favorite team besides whatever you went to college, Connecticut, Central State, or whatever.
Rebels.
7-point favorites on the road at Virginia. This one is very fishy looking here, Mike.
It is fishy. It's low. Somebody knows something. I don't care. North Carolina's going to roll it up on Virginia. Virginia looks horrible, really, really bad. That UNC offense, the defense is bad for North Carolina, but the offense is going to carry them to at least a 10-point victory.
Yeah, Virginia kept it close, only lost by 5 to Miami last week. So, but I'm going to take North Carolina too, even though something doesn't seem right about that game. Michigan, 24.5-point favorite going to Michigan State.
So it's almost also a lock, but I decided against it. But take Michigan. Michigan State is a horrible, horrible football team. They lost to double digits to Rutgers. Michigan wants to send a statement, and they've got the offense to do it against Michigan State. So take Michigan. They're going to destroy them. This would be a Michigan Rutgers type of score. We could be looking at 55-10.
Your confidence level leads me to pick Michigan State.
Smart, very smart, because it's a rivalry game. I mean, it shouldn't be a 55-10 game, but Michigan's going to roll.
All right, Indiana, 11-point favorite at Rutgers.
Oh man, how hard is this? I don't know. I like Michael Penix, and I'm going to take Indiana to cover that 11 because I don't believe Rutgers is a good football team. I think Michigan State's that bad. So take Indiana.
I'm taking Rutgers.
That's a tough one. For two teams that don't really matter. That's a tough one.
Kansas State, a 4-point underdog, even though they're ranked high, on the road at West Virginia.
Kansas State, I believe in the Fighting Clymans, and they're a good football team, well coached. I have no idea why West Virginia is favored by 4 here. That's a fishy one too. So, when you look at the fishy ones, you always take opposite of what it looks like. So the smart money's on West Virginia, but I'm taking Kansas State.
Yeah, you've picked 8 road teams in a row to cover here. So
it doesn't matter in COVID. There's no road.
Okay. All right. Let's roll through the rest of them relatively quickly. Memphis, 6.5-point underdog at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, I'm a believer. I think they beat Memphis, good team, but Cincinnati's going to cover.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati as well. Coastal Carolina, 2.5-point road favorite at Georgia State.
Georgia State going to win this game outright. Coastal Carolina, goodbye, out of the top 25.
I'm going to stick with Coastal Carolina. I picked against them last week, and it didn't go well for me. So I'm going to take them, even though they're still without their quarterback. Iowa State, a 28-point favorite at Kansas.
Take, another road cover. Take Iowa State. Kansas is horrible.
I'm taking Kansas. Iowa State sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they do, but Kansas is really, really bad,
No, I agree, but 4 touchdowns is a lot of points. I think they'll score, even though they don't have Puka. Puka was a covering machine, but I think they'll find a way to do it anyway. Okay, Boise State at Air Force. Air Force, a 14-point underdog.
I like Boise State. They'll put up big numbers, I think, and cover.
All right.
This is all road teams. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Boise as well. Navy plus 12.5 at SMU.
SMU. They're going to be ticked off, and they're going to roll it up on Navy. Navy's not good.
Yeah, they haven't been playing well. I'll stick with you on that one. And last one, Western Kentucky plus 29 at BYU.
Take the schmooze, the Hilltoppers, getting 29.
Oh, no way! I'm taking BYU. They're going to roll them. Western Kentucky.
BYU, listen, they're gonna falter. They're not going to lose this game, but they're going to falter and look human. The schmooze.
All right, it's time for Mike Farrell's Lock of the Week.
Lock of the Week.
He was his Lock of the Week last week failed to not only cover the loss by something like 50 points. So
I swear to God, I didn't know Maryland was that bad a football team. I just, people were telling me Loxley's record is 6-36 or something as a head coach. I'm like, 11. Northwestern should never beat anybody by 11, but they just killed them.
Okay. This week, Texas, 3.5-point underdog at Oklahoma State. What's the lock, Mike?
Oklahoma State's covering this one. There's a lot of turmoil at Texas. Everything's going wrong. I know, Sam Ehlinger is a good player, and they've got some weapons on offense. The defense is still suspect. Oklahoma State still hasn't come out and exploded on offense yet. Their defense is very, very solid. But listen, people don't think recruiting affects coaches. Quinn Ewers crushed Tom Herman's soul this week. They lost another 2022 commitment. Tom Herman is up to his neck in boiling water. And I think Oklahoma State's going to romp them. And if they do romp them, you could see Tom Herman get canned on Sunday or Monday. Texas isn't that type of program where they get rid of someone midseason, but things are as bad as they've been for a very long time. Under Herman, this is as bad as it's been.
I actually like Texas for the opposite reason.
My lock of the weeks are always great.
The line seems fishy. I think Texas can score, and I know Oklahoma State has a really good defense this year, but I think their offense is actually lacking. I continue to be concerned about their offensive line, so I'm going to take Texas. Okay, let's go back to Herman. We heard even early in the year when they started off rough with Oklahoma that he's back for next season no matter what, the money, the this, to that. You think that's going out the window depending on what happens here?
First of all, money means nothing to Texas, the University of Texas football program. It's one of the top 5 most lucrative programs. I know we're in COVID situation where athletic departments are taking hits and buyouts are going to be tougher, but he's lost the fans. He's lost the fan base. I think he lost his team a while ago, except for Elliger, who's a good leader. But they should have lost to Texas Tech. They just can't put together a consistent effort. And the recruiting situation now. I mean, they lost Monroe because Ewers committed, Ewers decommits. Now they're scrambling for quarterback. It's a nightmare. It's going very poorly, and I don't think the boosters at Texas, and there's some big ones, are going to put up with this, especially if he has like a 4 or 5 loss season. So he should have 3 losses now. He's going to have 3 after this weekend. He's gone.
Okay. All right. Mike is writing the eulogy for Tom Herman's time at Texas. We'll see what happens.
I believed Woody.
Believe me, I know. We'll get if and when the firing happens, we'll have to bring Rob back on because he said what makes us think Tom Herman is a good coach. We have no evidence, and he turned out.
Rob says that about everybody. Like every coach, you can do that for everybody.
Well, he said Willie Taggart was a good hire. You missed on.
That's horrible, but. I didn't think Charlie Strong was a good fit, but I thought Tom Herman was. So now what Texas needs to do is go hire Urban, get Ewers back, have the best recruiting class in Texas history, win the Big 12 for the next 4 years. Urban can retire, and then he can hand it off to one of his assistants.
Yeah, I'd hire. If you can't get Urban, I'd go hire Joe Brady. Go get him. Someone should have hired him this past year. I don't know why they let him go to the NFL. He'll probably be He'll probably be an NFL head coach next year, so we'll see. Anyway, all right, be sure to check out the rest of Mike's picks. You can find them on our YouTube channel or on Twitter. YouTube is youtube.com/rivalsfeatures. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.